Welcome to cooking cheap, easy, and tasty meal. Okay, I've got another piece of pie dough, and I am going to roll it out into two pieces to make a top and a bottom crust if I'm successful. Anyway, that's my objective. I'm putting a little flour down. This has just come out of the refrigerator, so I'm going to get a little flour on the surface of it. I'm not trying to add flour, but I'm trying to make it not stick. So I'm going to start rolling it. Now I'm going to try, I've still got to roll this out and fold it a couple times to get it to the consistency I want. But once I get it to that, I'm going to try and roll it. I'm going to try to roll it out to get two pieces so that I can make a small pie crust for a small pan and have a cover for it. So what my objective here is to roll it out and then fold it. And that will tend to bring it together better and make it easier to roll. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to roll it real quick, flip it over. And when I do this, I'm just going to take it and try and make it more round. Again, there are a lot of people out there who do this better than me, but this is so far my favorite crust. And I like graham cracker crusts, and I like vanilla wafer crusts, although since they stopped making Jack's vanilla wafers, I don't like them as much as I once did. But I hope somebody someday buys that company and starts that recipe again, but I suspect that won't happen, because they were so much better than Nabisco vanilla wafers. I wonder if Nabisco bought them or something. You never know about those things. The butter is making it a little sticky, so I'm going to turn it over again. You can see there's some butter on the edge, but I'm going to fold that in a minute, so hopefully that will not be a problem. I'm always impressed with people who can just roll it and it comes out perfect. And I've tried that a lot of times. I've never been able to get a perfect roll. But with each fold, it gets a little better. And the flakiness will definitely improve with each fold. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in half again, do the same thing, roll it under, and try and get it into a nice round shape. There we go. And that's beginning to look a lot nicer. It's also beginning to warm up, so I got to finish this up pretty quick or it's going to be too warm. Now I've folded it a couple times already, so what I want to do is try and get a nice long piece that's shaped like that, maybe a little bit this way. But what I'm going to use a smaller dish. So what what I want to do is have it be, instead of a circle, I want it to be more like this. A little more flour just in case. Okay. I need it to be a little wider than this. Okay, let me get the dish. Okay, there's the dish. So I've still got a ways to go. I'm still nowhere near 1/8 of an inch. How are we doing? Well, I don't know that I have enough dough to do what I want, but I'll at least get the bottom filled. Then I can work on the top later. This has still got to go in the refrigerator for a few hours. Notice the dough is shrinking back. I need to let it relax for a little while. Okay, let's see where I am right now. Okay, what I can do, I'm going to cut around this. Okay. And I'm going to take this and roll it just a little bit more. Okay, now it's got a nice small pie crust. And I'm going to cut a little of it off. But first thing I'm going to do is get this pushed in really well. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to take the rest of it and see if I can make a top. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough. We'll try. Certainly not very round, is it? Let's see how we're doing here. Coming along. Let's see. Turn this back in. Let's round this up a little bit. That's going to probably work. Okay. So, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator to keep it cool while I make the ingredients for the pie. Okay, I'm going to assemble my chicken pot pie now. First thing I'm going to do is dump my chicken and vegetables in here. It's just chicken that I had in the freezer and some mixed vegetables that were in the freezer also. Then I've made a sauce. I'm going to pour it on top. Had flour and butter and milk and some seasonings in it, like celery seed and things like that. You could put chicken broth in it to enhance the flavor. So I'm just going to spread that around. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my top on top, and what I'm going to do is squeeze it together with the crust that's already there to try and bind it together a little bit all the way around. I'm basically just trying to make a bond between the crust that's there and this. And then I'm going to take it and turn it like this, turn it under, to try and make a crust all the way around. I like the crust, so I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to have extra crust, hopefully. That's my favorite part, probably, if it was really, to be honest. The chicken is just for flavor, the crust. But, now, that's a rough pie. Now, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a couple vents in the top. And then I'm going to put that in the oven and let it cook. I'll be back when it's finished. Okay, it took about 45 minutes, but the pie is done, and if you notice, it's nice and brown. Now, one of the advantages of this crust is you can take the whole pie out and set it on another plate to cut it if you need be. I love this crust. One of the advantages of cooking it ahead, and it's a little bit, maybe a little bit thicker than you want, but it's a very nice crust. So I'm going to cut a piece of it and see how it is. I guess I'll just use this knife. Let's take a look. Ah, that's a nice pie. It cuts really well. Looks like I'm not going to need a bowl after all. I was hoping it would be fairly easy to eat. So we take a piece off. Let's take a look. Look at that. Nice brown crust, crispy on the bottom, crunchy, layered on top. Can't go wrong with that. Well, if you try it, I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give us a like. Thank you.